Breanna and Breanna Stewart actually talking about the loss, what happened, things like that. People are loving what Sabrina said about Caitlin Clark and just showing love.
I'm so happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
I can't stop smiling, literally in tears of joy right now. What a day. The defending champs, New York Liberty, just got blown out by Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and what happened next was basketball gold. After taking a 14-point beating, Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart hit the post-game mic looking like they just spent 40 minutes stuck in a Caitlin Clark mixtape, because they basically had. But instead of whining, blaming refs, or brushing it off, they shocked everyone with a raw, honest reaction to Clark's performance. Their respect for her dominance wasn't just lip service. It was the kind of moment that shut down any debate about who's really running things in the league right now. So tell us, was it genuine respect? Or just a classy way of owning a rough loss? Fire did the Liberty handle it like pros? Sound off below. Let's talk.
The word undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlin Clark.
She steps into that court, and in the first quarter, she made 3 threes in 38 seconds.
She is just absolutely undeniable.
Caitlin Clark was just different. Caitlin Clark is the system.
Caitlin Clark.
Let's take it back for a moment. The New York Liberty entered the game unbeaten, flaunting their championship rings and full of confidence. On paper, it looked like a simple win against an Indiana Fever team that had just endured 5 games without their star player. Expectations were low for Indiana to dominate, but everything changed the second Caitlin Clark stepped on the court. She exploded for 32 points, dished out 7 assists, and delivered a highlight reel performance so electric, it could inspire its own ESPN 30 for 30.
Undeniable.
Caitlin Clark was just different. Caitlin Clark is the system.
Caitlin Clark is
generational talent we've needed.
She is the system.
She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for.
But the real shocker came after the final buzzer. Instead of dodging questions or falling back on tired cliches, Sabrina and Stewie stood tall and gave Caitlin Clark the credit she rightfully deserved. No excuses, no denial. Just honest respect for a player who had earned every bit of it.
Like we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones. Obviously, she has great range, and her ability to get her shot off is really impressive, especially with missing some games. And so obviously on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court, healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important for them.
When asked about Caitlin Clark's return from injury, Sabrina didn't hold back. She spoke with real admiration, highlighting Caitlin's deep shooting range, her composure under pressure, and how she still found clean looks even against tight defense. That wasn't scripted praise or media politeness. It was one elite shooter recognizing another. And she didn't stop there. Sabrina even said she was genuinely happy to see Clark back healthy, not just for the Fever, but for Caitlin as a person. That's not something you say about a hype machine. That's what you say about someone you truly respect as a peer. Caitlin didn't just return, she took over.
As Caitlin Clark put on a show that only she can in leading the team to a win over the New York Liberty. She hit the logo bombs, 3 of them in 38 seconds. Caitlin was able to hit down the court, just gorgeous.
I mean, think about it. What really hit the hardest was Sabrina's honest admission. They gave Caitlin way too many open looks. Let that settle in. This is Sabrina Ionescu we're talking about, a certified 3-point sniper, openly admitting that Caitlin's range is dangerous even when defenders think they've closed in. When someone with Sabrina's credentials says Clark's jumper is automatic the moment she sees a sliver of daylight, you take her word for it, because she knows exactly what it takes to drain shots from deep, even from the parking lot.
Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now.
Let's see what some people are saying right here. I am 100% Fever, but first team I have watched with class this year. Other than my Fever, great game, ladies. I love the sportsmanship. May you have a great season.
Now Breanna Stewart kept her composure. But she didn't hide from the truth either. This is a 2-time MVP, a proven champion. Someone who could have easily pointed fingers or blamed the refs. But she didn't. Instead, Stewie owned it. She admitted what everyone watching already knew. They got outplayed. Not because of luck. Not because of a random hot streak. But because Indiana came in with a sharper game plan, executed it better, and had one seriously dangerous weapon in Caitlin Clark.
Individually, I think just making better reads off the switches. They made it really difficult because they were just like, there was just constantly somebody there and trying to find an opening to get downhill or to find somebody else. And then collectively, like our defense, I think we should take pride in that a little bit more. And they had like 53 at half and finished with 102. So it doesn't really seem like we were guarding much.
Breanna Stewart was giving her a lot of space. She shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment.
You knew the game had shifted the moment Clark buried a logo 3 right in Stewart's face. And how did Stewie respond? She smiled. That wasn't frustration. It was respect. That's what it looks like when greatness recognizes greatness. No eye rolls, no sulking. Just a grin from someone who understood she had just been part of a truly special moment, even if it came at her own expense.
It's not defeating. Basketball's a game of runs, in the same way like we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones.
Those defensive breakdowns Stewie mentioned, they weren't just simple mistakes. They were a direct result of Caitlin Clark's gravitational pull on the court. When someone can casually drain shots from 35 feet like it's a layup, your defensive strategy starts to unravel before it even gets going. The Liberty was stretched thin, scrambling to contain Clark, and in that chaos, Indiana's other shooters found space and made them pay. What made this post-game moment truly powerful was the complete absence of ego. While the media has tried to create drama between Clark and the league's veterans, Ionescu and Stewart didn't take the bait. Instead of adding fuel to that narrative, they shut it down with honesty. They gave credit where it was due, and the stats backed them up. The Fever were on fire from beyond the arc, not because of luck, but because Clark drew so much defensive focus that her teammates were left with wide-open, practice-level looks.
Yeah, look, obviously, we had to rely on these two players here, and we didn't get to the rim. Early in the game we did. I think we had about 32 points in the paint in the first half, and we didn't get as many open ones as we did in the second half. And that's on the coaching staff. We've got to make it a little bit easier for them in that regard. But, they're switching. They were very disrupted. They were very physical. And, we've got to be a better job at executing that.
Stewart also shared something pretty revealing. They burned out their starters just trying to keep pace with Indiana's offense. And that's not just on coaching. That's psychological pressure. That's the Clark effect. She speeds up the game, distorts defensive structure, and forces teams to break their own rhythm just to survive. That's what stars do. That's what true leaders bring. That's what MVPs are made of.
The Indiana Fever before Caitlin and the Indiana Fever after Caitlin, she is like 1000% the difference maker.
Even Liberty coach Sandy Brondello didn't offer up any excuses. No complaints about injuries, no shots at the refs. Just a straightforward admission that the Fever were simply the better team that night. And when a coach at that level gives credit without hesitation, you know it wasn't just a win, it was a statement.
She is the only player in the league so far averaging 20 points per game, 5 rebounds per game or more, 5 assists or more per game. Caitlin Clark is back in action.
This team won a massive game.
The Indiana Fever have come out and dominated.
Statistically, it was a blowout. Indiana dropped 102 points, with a jaw-dropping 53 coming in the first half alone. A team that had seemed directionless without Caitlin suddenly looked like a modern-day Warriors squad with her back in the mix. And those 17 three-pointers? That wasn't a fluke. That was pure gravity. Clark's presence didn't just elevate the game. She elevated everyone around her, turning teammates into deadlier threats just by being on the floor.
And so we got back into the game. We had that run when Stewie was guarding Caitlin Clark, but then they executed well. And we had so many breakdowns on defense, and they made shots. They really punished us on that end, making 17 threes from 35. It was just too wide open. So a little lack of communication. We had to obviously work these two. Probably overworked them tonight. But a lot of things that we can learn. And we, like I said before the game, we're nowhere near.
Sabrina summed it up by calling basketball a game of runs. But let's be honest, this wasn't just a run, it was a full-on dismantling. Indiana didn't just get hot for a few minutes. They dominated from start to finish. And that's what Sabrina and Stewart truly acknowledged. Sustained, undeniable excellence. The truth is, Caitlin Clark isn't just grabbing headlines. She's shifting the narrative. She's lifting her team, humbling her critics, and earning respect the hardest way possible. By taking down the best and making them acknowledge it.
Has great range and her ability to get her shot off. I'm really happy to see her back out on the court. I'm happy she's back.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar globally.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
Breanna Stewart's post-game comments hit differently. This wasn't your typical, tough loss press conference. Her words were measured, her tone was serious, and the message the Liberty had built their identity on being the gold standard of the league, a dynasty in progress, the team others are measured against. So when Stewart openly admitted they were shaken by Caitlin Clark's speed and composure, it was clear this wasn't just a wake-up call. From the defending champs who they are after facing a team